mental health, and other myths. Hello, I'm Thomas Reed, and today I'll be talking to you about depression. I didn't do a sitcom. I'm invoking the relevant monologue clause of the direction sheet. This falls under the physical, emotional, and developmental disability section of the almighty identity wheel. You might be thinking, Thomas, the assignment was to do an identity you think about least often. Right you are. Please hold each and every one of your horses. When you live with something for a while, it sort of fades from conscious thought. It's not so much on your mind as much as it is your mind. In a way, it really is one of my least considered identities. It's not something I ever really consciously think about much at all, like how tall I am or how buff I am, just qualities. Good? Let's go. If you didn't already know, depression is a severe condition of low self-esteem, loss of interest, and low energy, clinical bummed out. Terminal, even. That's simple, but what's it actually feel like? Well, it's like having a pacemaker, and the pace it's making is slow motion. It's that feeling when you just got out of a pool for your whole life. Miserable, cold, dripping. Depression is like when you're born and the doctor goes to spank you for whatever reason, but hits your soul. Depression, sometimes called the big sad, is the hot new trend sweeping the nation, maybe the globe, at an alarming rate, or as alarmed as you can be when you're busy being depressed. The world we live in, you can't see me but I did air quotes, is in a perfect storm of tragedies, calamities, disasters, and other long words that hate you. It's the world we're inheriting from the boomers, guys. They won't tip more than 10%, but they sure will increase the cost of college 1,000%. Am I right or am I left? Global warming isn't helping either. Seasonal depression is on the rise, and now the only season is hot. Our little blue marble is in the microwave, if you ask me. People are being born into a world that wants them to be sad. Emos and goths had the right idea, embracing it, but you don't have to. Lucky for you, I've been compiling epic tips and tricks on how to style on your depression. Nice. Let's go. Number 1, don't look in the mirror. But why? Well, easy. Besides the inherent risk of Bloody Marys and serial killers, there's something scarier in there. You. Making eye contact is one of the most vulnerable states you can be in, and you don't want to be vulnerable when you're depressed. You're being extremely invasive in this state, but you're also extremely invaded. Eyes are super expressive, even subconsciously, and lets you see every motion or twitch on their face, highly personal. Now imagine making eye contact with yourself. Odds are, you're not going to have much positive to say. You are your own worst enemy, after all. Your own rival. And this is one rival you can't defeat in a cool sword fight. Trust me, I tried. Brains are just like that, so avoid the situation entirely for now. You can come back when you've done the other steps. Number 2, go outside. Listen, I don't like it either. I can't even wear a hoodie these days. And you guys have seen me in a hoodie. I look tight. But even when it's this hot, the outdoors can still be pretty cool. Pause for laughter. Cooping yourself up will do nothing to help your depression. Lazy days and Netflix binge days are important, don't get me wrong, but there's something mystical about the chirp of birds and the gentle wind. It's refreshing. It almost makes you want to break into song. Try to get a walk at least once a week. 2 or more is even better, but baby steps, you know? Not on your walk. Take adult steps out there, for sure. Number 3, don't wallow. This one's hardest. It's going to feel comfy to sit in the mud of sadness. Too comfy. That's peak depression, or maybe rock bottom depression. Yeah. It'll feel right to isolate yourself. You can't really help it. That is, until you help yourself. You know that moment in the morning when you jump out of bed and tackle the day head on? Me neither, but just pretend, okay? You gotta do that, but like mentally. You can't think about it. Just get up, clean your room, do the laundry, eat something healthy, fall into a dope little rhythm with your funky little self until before you know it, that's right, you're still depressed, but you aren't wallowing anymore. You're out of the worst of it, but now what? Number 4, distract yourself. Your depression is a little goblin in the back of your head with a bell. He will not stop ringing the bell no matter how hard you beat him. So you've got to get a bigger, louder bell. Find something you like to do in your free time. Put yourself out there. Try something new. Keep your mind occupied. Hobbies, new hobbies, friends, new friends, anything. Eventually, like super eventually, there might not be room for goblins at all. But until then, pour it on. Don't fall out of your rhythm, because if you do, you'll wallow. And then the goblin gets to play his little song until you get up again. His song sucks. He'll tell you he got a record deal. He didn't. So those are my sage wisdoms. Thanks for listening. I know you didn't have much choice, but I appreciate it anyway. Use these tips until you can look in the mirror and be happy with who you see. Unless it's Bloody Mary. No one can practice self-care for you, so practice until you're a master. Later.